And Hilda is taking some damage for their team, going in the front line, giving the vision for her team.
They need their eyes for all the boosters that they require. But Vietnam, he's the education that he have been doing, he have been uh, giving. It hasn't been much of effect now because Hiroshi has been stepping up. He's not been the experienced that he is. He's kind of the eye for the team. He has been the vision giver, the roamer at this point, checking every boost, making sure that there wasn't any kind of and Bruce coming out for Venom again. And Venom, whenever he tries to pull it out with the Hilda, it's gonna be him taking that chunk very low again. So he has to be careful now. And at this point, it's actually Step Bros who have the upper hand compared to the early stages of this game where Evil was the one calling the shots, but the Lord will be the one being pumped. They have completely ignored the third turtle.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Joy is having, problems with, diving in or committing into a hero properly. Because if you see properly, the composition of Step Bros, they all do have those, movement or you could say flicker, blink skills on them. And as well as they're having a Matilda on their side, so they don't have to worry about dashing away. So Joy is really, having a problem in diving in
Yeah,
such a
you're right.
situation.
Yeah, the thought that Desiree might be having a good time was completely out of the line because the mobility, like you mentioned, is the one actually saving that bird from any onslaught from the electrifying beats.
Yes, and both, I mean, at this point, Hopeless Retreat is, trying to take the turtle in, but that Moskov thus confirms and that Joy for his bounty and that Lord has been secured by Hopeless Retreat.
Yep, absolutely amazing to say the least because for Stamperos, they took the kills, they took the objective, and that's nothing more they can answer because they do have found what they're looking for. The kill on the drive by the Moskov was actually a bonus for that neutral objective that they had secured right there. But at this point, the win condition for Eagle Esports has to be the set that's going to be coming out from the Venom. We have to be trying to make the set, the Raising Sandstorm, and the Growth Part combination. We have to be on top notch and the best advantage in order to take this game, in order to stay alive in this game. But oh, there's a lot of damage coming off on Super Wet.
I mean, yeah, he's dealing a lot of damage indeed. And as you said, the Rising Sound should be on point. I mean, at the top notch. So that's, the only thing, Evil Esports can do. And as you can see, that electrifying beats is not doing much damage right now. So I guess she has lost that early game lead. Now she's suffering.
Yeah, this is actually super. Oh my goodness, but the Venom will the one fall into the hands of the hopeless tracking just tiny a little bit too deep right there. He was trying to instigate a fight, but a lot of damage under the basic practice just diving in, giving EU into the midst of it. Oh, and Hiroshi will be the one taking down the coins. And right there, he doesn't have the flicker, he doesn't have the mobility, but the real manipulation will be popped again. But not for anything right there because there's not a fight going on, but Super Vet will be taken very, very low. He's gonna be horrified right there, but there's a chunky member for the side of the Eagle Esports.
I mean, diving in, committing inside the turret, and the rising side was on the point and finishes off that Moscow with their lead. And hopeless retreat getting some damage into that Arcane Shade does some serious damage to that Khalid, but then Khalid with his quick Sandguard does regains his health and composure. I mean, at this point, I guess both the teams would be compete, would liking to compete for the second Lord, and I guess it would be depending factor for both of the teams because if Stepbro's gonna take it, it's probably gonna be over for EL Esports.
Yeah, but looking at the pathways of the build, I would say the Crisis is actually going for the win of nature very, very early on because understandably so, because he have the Sky Pizza, he have the Malefic gun, and he does have the power point that he require with the BOD right there. And if there's a fight they are willing to take, and if there's a Raising Sandstorm that's gonna be very, very perfectly on point with the growth pathway as well, I think they can be manageable for a Crisis to deal that damage that they have for the backlines. But at this point, they have to be careful because they cannot risk any kind of mistake. They cannot even step out. There's gonna be a response coming out from Stanford whenever there's a chance for them. So they have to be very, very careful. But there might possibly be a contest for the lot right now. But looking at the position of the Zoe, I don't feel like he is looking for one.
I mean, they are really out of position, and probably Moscow is trying to split push onto that bot lane. I mean, but Joy needs to check out for that bush, and that Glory's path does pops in, guiding win. I mean, circling Eagle does secures in, but that show you confirms that Lord for their team as well as takes down that Joy as well as the Moscow coming in with the Spear of Destruction and killing onto that. I mean, triple kill for him. He just kill out that. I would say, and another Aura of Wilderness kill for that Hilda. I mean, a great
That was
fight indeed
amazing.
from the Stepbros.
Yep. Absolutely right, and they are securing that very first objective that they have, and the base will be wide open, and the Moscow is gonna be the one taking their game into their own hands. So safe to say,
Victory!
it's actually Stavros who are stat checking the side of Evil Esports, giving them the not giving them the tempo they were looking for, and directly going for the shots onto that base, and understandably so because they are the one actually coming out on top with that little bit of game access onto that early stage of this game where they are actually behind. But one misstep coming out from YZS onto that Joy is kind of, I mean, chunking down all the leads that they have. And at one point, even Crisis wasn't able to be in a good position. I mean, whilst they were having a very hefty frontliners, they weren't able to use it, capitalize it to their main advantage because at that point Hopeless Retreat was all farmed up. He had the snowball going, and whenever there's a chance for them to try to be, there to ambush, Hiroshi is always in every kind of boost, securing those boosts, just trying to chase them away. Whoever's just trying to camp onto that boost. So at this point, there's no map advantage that they were looking for the side of Eagle Esports, and they are gonna be the one losing this first game.
I mean, for the last fight, I would say Ellie Hope did a really great job at distracting. I mean, he was trying to push in, but then that created a lot of distraction for that Joy. So he had to think about it. So meanwhile, he was thinking, that Shoyu just confirmed the turtle for his team, and by the time he thought about it, his team already got finished because Moscow was on time, with his spear of destruction, and that late game Moscow, him, and he was on instant will. So yeah, attack speed one was on the peak. So with this, guys, we would be back with the second match with these two most beautiful teams. So we would be right back after a while. So guys, please stay tuned.
Back to
Guys,
the second match. Oh,
Point.
we're
Fight for
heading
the
right
ultimate
back into the
answer
second
banning.
match, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is a chance for Evil Esports to come back, to strive back, because the first game was purely, I mean, not even a draft
Butterflies
gap. It's
born by
actually
my
the
wish is
maneuverability,
guided by
the chance,
lantern's
the
light.
opening, the rotation coming out from StepBros that has been such of a much, very much of a factor for Evil Esports to be sharp in, to be, I mean, there was no recovery point for them, but this time around they will be the one
Yeah,
taking away that Hilda because of uh the the map provide the map provision that the Hilda gave. I would say this is a very understandable ban coming out from the side of Evil Esports.
yeah, I mean, evil esports are prioritizing those previous match bans from the StepBros side. I mean, that's a very reasonable thing to do because that Hilda was really annoying throughout the positioning, or you would say those early to late game phases. And Step Bros always locking in. I mean, as you said in the previous match, you know, this Zushin is always getting banned on because she can deal a lot of damage. I mean, she can deal a lot of crowd control to those, I would say, non-blinked or non-agile tanks or EXP laners. So she can start snowballing them right from the early game. And another great band coming in from Team Step Bros is that Lucas. I mean, this guy, if he goes in with that full damage, he just needs to transform into that wolf and just put his first skill on, and most probable thing is you could see a kill or a double kill on his fit. And another ban, I would say, that is Fanny coming in from Evil Esports. So, a really great potential hero, I would say, in the early phases.
I mean, they are directly going to eliminate that pressure that's gonna be coming out from the Fanny because the Fanny I mean I feel like Evil Esports just want to go for that late game because of the bench so far. Looking at the size that the Matilda ban, the Hilda ban, and the Fanny ban
Where
to
there
say the
is
least. But onto
light,
the side of
there
the
are
Bro, they are
also
the one actually to take
shadows.
out that macro advantage that the much of a heavy CC kind of hero into that mid lane. The Louis been taken away at this point when there's target ban, right, it's kind of open up completely to new different
Experience the
heroes, like the meta heroes
euphonious
as well.
spring.
Actually, we have good to see that Cross is picking up that Granger very early on, but there's a chance for the side of Temple to go for that Heritage steal. Maybe go for it before it's banned, or maybe go for the Irisal too, because Irisal and the Hero are basically known as a direct counter for that Granger, but we cannot sit on Crisis again because he is kind of a player who does have that advantage in the laning phase. He's such a good hero on the right options, on the right heroes that he's gonna play. But looking at the side of Step Bros, they are actually taking the
In
Harris
the
away.
forge of
Very no
creation,
brainer kind of
I
pickup.
am the bastion of order.
And I mean, Harit, with his Zaman Force and with those unlimited chrono dashes, he would be dealing a lot of damage as well as a lot of mobility to his team. And locking in with that Kato, that AOG would
The
be
Immortal
a
One
thing to
chose to
worry for
vanquish
that
the
team,
shadows
Evil
that plague this
Esports.
world.
And Evil Esports do lock in with that Shoyu. I mean, why not? This hero previous match was snowballing them. So I guess this time they want this hero in their team, dealing a lot of damage.
Mm, yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah, absolutely true to say the least. Because the studio pick up for the side of Cyprus was their winning factor because they did have that early against Snowball that they have, not that early, but for mid, I would say, but that just open up for Joy for the side of Step Bros because they can take the Joy as of now. Maybe they do want to depend on their Harris with the magic damage, but double down the magic damage is gonna be fine. But looking at the side of Evil Esports, they have a Badang that the Badang is kind of a flex this time around because he can sometimes some people like we have seen before use it into that roaming position as well, and it can be onto the XP too. But this Badang kind of eliminate all kinds of high mobility heroes he can counter with the stuns, with the wall, with Space Crack again. So at this time around, Step Bros, they are very decisive on how their draft should be going.
I mean, to be specific, probably,
I am
they
the
thought
only
of,
one bound by
that
this
Team Step Bros
chains.
would taken that joy on their side, but then, countering that Badang, Phobius has been picked up. I mean, why not, because Phobius has a dash skill
Step
as
up!
well as Granger
Sanjo!
and that Shoyu. So, Phobius would be having a fun time on into those team fights. And looking at the second banning phase, I mean, that Hayabusa as well as the CC. I mean, on this new patch, CC has been buffed, so yeah, her regen is a bit higher than usual. And talking about the Hayabusa, I mean that quad shadow locking to you, as well as that I'd say Phantom Shuriken passive stacking upon you, and that shadow kill would be finishing off you on in no time. And if you're being alone, so you just need to be scared of this hero.
Yep, absolutely true. Because, like you said, the dive skills that's going to be coming out from Hayabusa is very, very highly likely to secure a kill for himself. But they should, for the side of Evil Esports, they could go for another ban for the jungle. They actually go for the alpha ban because there's a series of options for step bros. Then maybe they can go for the step, the joy, or maybe kill it till the end, or secure their mates first. Just try to be one step ahead of Evil Esports right here because there's so many options for the mazes because only two mazes have been banned and there's so very wide choices right here. The Eve is there, it's the Vecna is also right there. Maybe they can go for something very unorthodox too because they have so many strategies. Maybe a supporty kind of mates or possibly they
Yes,
can go
Cecilian.
for Cecilia as well. Yep, absolutely right.
Yeah, but let's see what they have. I mean, planned in, and they do go in for that long range. I would say artillery. That's Farsa. I mean, her feather strike does hurts a lot. I mean, and has a lot of range to it. So let's see what do team Evil Esports have to pick for a counter.
I mean, they could actually go for the Valentina here again, but there's chance that they can go for something very early on. Maybe go for the Khalid Valentina combo that they did last game, but it didn't work out well for them. Maybe this time around they have another chance to prove their draft. But looking at the side of that, bro, they have too much of a magic damage, I would say, because the Gatot, the Harriers, the Phobias. I mean, the Phobias kind of make sustain possibly, but the mage is a magic dealer, of course, but they should have to go for something physical right here. Maybe the link might also be valid because the alpha has been banned away, but I don't think they should go for the link because there's so much early game pressure that's going to be coming out from the side of Evil Esports.
I mean, true, Ling would be a great choice, but then, early game, I would say more than Ling, Shoyu would be dealing a lot, and they also do have that Badang as well as that Khalid on their opponent. So I don't think Ling would be a greater choice in this match. So let's see what do they have to pick out. I mean, at this point, they should
Okay.
pick a really okay. They also, saying of Ling, they do
You know,
lock in with it. Yeah, yeah.
the link is kind of a very, very high gamble, right? We know that the link is only the valid option that they can go for. If it's the link or the landslot at this point, but the landslot, like we all know, hasn't been much of a factor since the season. So we have to see a link, and it's kind of I mean, the link is supposed to be here at this one because they really, really needed a very high mobility and physical damage. But looking at the competition right now for the side of Step Bros, they are all missing damage dealer except for the Link and the Forest. The Forest is not the main damage dealer. They really needed the Link, but it's kind of a gamble because, like you said, the Batang is here, the Khalid is here, even the Aurora, which have a life insurance with that kind of eye. So they have to be careful in this game this time around.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the land of dawn. And as the usual rotation coming in from the both sides, EXP to the goal. And what do you think? Which hero has a faster clearing rate? At this point, I don't think so. We can judge because all of the EXP laners and the mages are
Yep.
helping though. So, won't be, would be a tough thing to say. But then, the Lethal is spawning in to the goal side. So I guess we would be seeing some contesting coming in for that Lethal, probably.
Mm-hmm. But the Link might not be the actual one who's going to be contesting at this point because YZ has wanted that Surya might actually have the better claim, but right now to the top side, Crisis taken very low is gonna be stand down by he onto that first right there, and that's a gold card being secure. But Crisis taken very low. He's gonna be actually have to be careful under this early stage of this game because he doesn't have that upper hand and the advantage against a Harry. This is a Harry who's gonna be power spiking very early on, but to look at that, he's taken very, very low.
I mean, as you said, he needs to be careful enough. And that evil cooler coming in for a secure of that Harith.
That was
And
amazing. The 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 wall being connected, but Venom will be the one securing the helpless retreat onto that. And I feel for the side of Step Bros at this point because they have been very they are losing their jungle. They have to be they have to find a way to just control this early game again.
I mean, in the early, I mean, before in the drafting phase, as we described, Devi, Ling is having a problem against that, I would say, Badang, because his fist break did, stunt him at the moment and, just kill him apart. So he just needs to look out for him. And so you confirming his turtle for his team. And Ilu looks really low. And with that, I mean, ulti, Badang fist crack does secures a kill for his team.
Yep, absolutely amazing, I would say, because the signal that's coming out from the Dang, from Venom, is just making it a chance for, they gambled that flexibility for the Badang, and the gamble is coming out on top because looking at the position right now, Venom is actually the one who has at level 4, and he's kind of diving in for Eli Herb right there, but the Feather Airstrike committed onto Crisis will not be connecting onto him, but will be the one securing that, but he will be the one falling into that skirmishes right there.
In a very reckless, I would say, move by Farsha. She should have moved away, right? I mean, she should have moved away, right there. But then, she's thought of staying out for too long, and she got punished for it. So that's a very normal thing because if Granger does dodges in with those skills, but then as we can see that evil killer hitting on to that Harith and that I would say Shadow what is this called, Soul Savior does finishes off that Harith.
Absolutely amazing. We got into that. The flying couple here, the Raging Force gun connecting onto the backside heroes. He's just diving into him. That there wouldn't be no survivability for him because there's three members onto him. He was just trying to drown them out. But in the end, it wasn't actually in his favor. But off the top, that Eli Hope will be in a bit of a pickle right there. But yep, the even Esports have to back away.
I mean, at this match, as we are looking, Evil Esports are trying to dominate in from the.
Trying to secure onto that first, and he was actually successful in doing so. And in the meantime, it's actually easier falling down again. There's a lot of kills coming off for the side of Evil Esports because that brother is just focusing too much on Crisis, just trying to eliminate the pressure that's gonna be coming out from him when he have the snowball going. They did have the Harry, they did have the Link, they did have Gatot Kacal, but it wasn't much of a dive because the crisis with the positioning is too much of a factor for him to make him survive and mobility as well. But Ego on the top side is a lot of damage, but the Link is into the picture. He's just trying to dive in because he's connected onto the backside. No one will be committed as well. The last one will be committed again, but he was just running on to Venom. There's a lot of damage that's happening in the flicker from Mintis, and then separating later onto Eli. The one falling into the hands of Crisis as well, but Super Vets just diving in onto the back of the Raging Stand again, EU, and both of that mazes and the rover taking very low and eventually falling down to the hands of the side of Evil Esports, and the trade will be on Super Wet, but that's a trade they are willing to take.
I mean, at this point, Badang is really playing an important role into those team fights. I mean, giving those stunt with his fist break and his iron, fist win. So, Badang really positioning himself really well, and that you'd say Crisis is dealing a really good, decent amount of damage right now.
Yep, absolutely amazing amount of damage by Crisis will be a bit of the pickle here again, two of the ultimate big pop for the side of StepBros again, just trying to take down Crisis. Again and again, this guy has been, the into that eyes of the side of StepBros. He has been so much onto the focus that he has been able to dive in and dive out of a lot of the ultimates that have been fought for him. And I feel like this is a waste of optimism coming up on the side of StepBros because they are focusing too much on crisis and eventually they aren't able to take him down again. But there's a lot of team fight happening. Hiroshi taken very low, will be falling down to the hands of Crisis again. There's another stack onto the Sky Fisher for Crisis onto that Granger.
I mean, Hiroshi was, I guess, a bit too overconfident with him, with his passive, or I would say with his ult. But then, if you have a Fed Granger on your opponent's side, you should be a bit, careful, even if you're super tanky or you're damn tanky.
Ooh, that is done onto the first side, but he has to flicker away. But there's not Sonata that's gonna be unplayed, completely wrecking the team right there. And first side will be falling to the hands of Crisis onto the top, to the backside. There's always Retreat just diving in, but he will be taken very low and eventually falling down to the hands of the Crisis right there. A lot of damage with a little bit of a attack coming out from that Sky Piercer again, but onto the top side, Hiroshi just diving in. Pirouette onto the backside, the Raging Sandstorm again committed onto EU will be taken very low, and there's a match for being popped again. So far, it will be for forced to just back away and onto the backside. There's Heroes falling down to the hands of the Crisis. There's a lot of damage, and the Feather Airstrike will not be connecting onto anyone. And Evil Esports, they will retreat for now.
And I mean, even if they are retreating, they are having a lot of upper hand because, as you can see, the goal lead has been lifted up to that, I would say, 10K mark right now. So, Step Bros are having a really difficult time coping in with that link.
But Wisey is just diving in with that. But the Cutlass Retrieval just have to pop that 10 piece of plate in order to survive the little bit of onslaught that's coming out for the Suya right there. Looking at the. Yes, funnily enough, the KD of the series is actually 1-0-10. He's actually the one. Oh, the Feather Airstrike will be popped again. Just try to join them out, and they will be successful in doing so. And Step Bros will be. I mean, they have the advantage enough to just try to bait out a little bit of a the minions in order to protect their base a little bit. But at this point, the Link has to be careful. He has to be the one who doing that macro factor, just trying to build a little bit of a split burst because there's not much of an options. Evil Esports are so much into that driving seat.
I mean, you are really good at this. I mean, what I say, as you said, Ling should be the factor for it pushing for their team. And as for Farsa as well as their, I would say, Harrods, they should try to stay in their base because they do need that clearance on their side, even if Ling dies. So, as far as they can clear out those lanes, or I would say that lord, so they should be safe.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I'm worried about is the Hiroshi build onto that Phobias because he doesn't have that Thunder Belt, which might actually be a hybrid defense in order to make him survive the early stage of this game because he's just opting for antique race very early on. And at this point, even Haris is so behind, and the Granger will be so ahead looking at the text as well. But there might be a little bit of screen just happening, but the Lord will be marching into the mid side. The Feather Airstrike will be committed again onto the back side. There's a stun onto EU. He's been frozen, but Legendary for Crisis. And that's one kill and two kill for YZ as again they are managing to take down the lore, but that's two kills they have to trade for, and I feel like StepBros are successful in defending this mid tower.
I mean, at this point, I guess Crisis would get another kill for him, and yeah, he does also destroy a turret, and that Phobia sustaining some of the damage coming in from the Crisis, but I mean, Khalid does clears him out.
The Lord coming with the AOZ and the feathers airstrike again. That's one kill. It's just onto the rumor that's not much of a word because he's not gonna be having that much of a bounty that they were looking for. But there's a lot of spacing that's gonna be provided for StepBros with that one sure kill. But I feel like they do have that better clear when we are talking about because they have the Link, they have the Harris and the Firefly as well because the Feather Airstrike will be used as a droning ultimate because as high as artillery he hasn't been able to do that much of damage and Hopeless Retreat will have to retreat right there. He doesn't have the blue buff again.
Yeah, and I mean, Farsa should be, as
Mm.
long as Farsa is on to that, I would say Step Bros, they should be safe enough to have those backup from those backlines. But that Gatut Kacha is using that AOG onto the defensive maneuver, but the Granger on that point crisis thus finishes off that it's a Gatot Kacha with his Rhapsody.
Oh, just a lot of damage onto the backside, and the expert will be coming up again, but Eliha will be the one taking down his super web again, but Hiroshi will fall into the hands of YG as Crisis taking 2 kills, and that's the base for Evil Esports. They are back for more. They do want to go for that match point. They are not looking for a clean sweep, and I would say they did have that lessons in the picks that they have into the last game, and now they, giving their comfort to their marksman is what they the winning condition actually is. So kudos to them for bringing this game to their start match.
I mean, what to say about this? I feel, giving out the Granger as well as the Shoyu was a really bad decision from Step Bros. I mean, they should have picked at least the Shoyu for themselves. Because, even if Granger does have the late game power spike, but then, if Shoyu dives in and, suppresses him or, tries to kill him uh, all over again and again. So I guess Granger would have been in control. And talking about that green, I would say Harith, they could have gone with that Ixia. I feel because Ixia is not really bad in this meta too, because her regen as well as her damage is a lot. I would say.
Yep, you are right. Absolutely right. Because, the Link was the only option for the retribution for the jungle, and, the jury was still open, but they did not want to have that much of a massive damage to their side. And, when they, into the early parts of their game, they were focused too much on Crisis. They have completely forgotten about YZS onto that trio, and
So
he
you.
was the one actually snowballing. The crisis have been. I mean, this guy's positioning and the spacing that he have been doing, just joining out, just being the one wasting all those ults that are coming out from Stepbros. I feel like this guy deserves to be into the school. And I feel like this is kind of a mechanic problem at this point. This is a skill difference.
Yeah. I think maybe in next match we would be seeing a Granger ban, but then
Oh.
you never know because Step Bros what they're thinking of. If they get the first pick, probably they're going for that Granger. But then till then, we would be back really soon, guys. So stay tuned and the stream. We would be right back.
Okay, welcome back to this game again, ladies and gentlemen. We are just moving on to the third game around because Evil Esports just denied a clean sweep that's gonna be coming up on the side of Cerberus. The points are
Your team
now
is banning.
one. This will be the last dance, the last chance for both of the teams to finally come out on top and move for the next round into this tournament. But seeing so far, we have the ban coming out directly for the side of Step Bros taking away the down, which was such a nuisance for the side of Evil Esports.
I mean, true, the previous time, I mean, you know, for that Link, he was the most annoying factor because, Link was even, not able to move freely in those team fights. And, Badang, with his, very great rotation, I would say,
Butterflies
he was
all
onto those
paradise
Your
bushes
reach,
and,
team is banning.
doing a
guided
really
by
great thing.
lantern's light.
And another ban, which is a really common
Magic
ban,
is
as you
my life.
described
Your
in the
team is
previous
banning.
matches. That's Zushan. I mean, nobody can see her getting played. I mean, she's really a mess in this meta right now. And
Always on the
banning
move.
in with Harit.
Your
Stepbros, I
team
guess,
is
they are
banning.
up to something right now because Harit, I would say, is really annoying. But then, they don't want to give it away to those evil esports players.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because when they had the Harriets open for themselves, it wasn't much of a factor because Eli wasn't able to do much of anything that he wants to do with that Harriet. But taking it away, not giving it to Cautious might be the best decision so far right now because one of the teams they have their lost sounds here. They are both serious and they do want to go for more. So they have to be onto that full
Let's go.
potential for full serious
Your
mode right
team
now.
is
But
banning.
looking at the best so far, they are actually targeting onto that goal lane, taking out the Iritel as well as the Harris. And I feel like, like you mentioned, the Zeusson has always been much of a standard ban for both of the teams because time and time again it's always been taken away or it hasn't been much of the time where it's been open because this time around it's kind of a meta where the tanks are real tanks, those uh tankiness that can shock a lot of damage and
Sir,
and even the
what's your
XP
command?
laners
Your
are
team is
having those
picking.
those tankiness that they require and you can just have those good time against those tanky members. But looking at the side of Evil Esports, they are taking away another jungle that's defending.
Your team is picking.
I mean, yeah, with Erytheo as well as Fanny, I mean, these two. I mean, specifically for Erytheo, she's a really great marksman to spike up that damage in the mid to late phase of the game. But then, as usual, we see, Team Stepbros picking up with that meta OP hero that's Granger from their side. And I guess
Fight
Evil
for the
Esports would be
ultimate
locking in
answer.
with a Soyu, and they also do lock in with that Hilda. I mean, Hilda not a bad choice, really good at invading on those early buffs of those
Time
opponents,
to drop the
and
beat of the
can
flash.
sustain a lot. And her passive is really annoying too, because she can regain while just staying in the bush, so she doesn't needs to recall uh, towards the base, and she also is taking in with that revitalize spell, so would be a lot of bit tanky and would be dealing, would be really annoying for the Step Bros, I believe.
Hmm. And to say the least, it's actually good, like you mentioned, because the Hilda will be supposedly everywhere in every boost that you can find because of the passive, like you mentioned. But, picking up the Grander for the Tempros might be an opening for them to pick up the show because the Link, when they picked out the Link last game, it was for just because they needed a physical
Your team
hero,
is
just not
picking.
because it was good, just because they needed a physical hero. And you can all see how it turned out. It didn't work well
Gaze
for
the
them, but looking at the
stars
side of
and
Your
seek
Evil
your
team is
Esports,
path.
they did
banning.
have the Louis open and they are the one capitalizing on it and taking the way the Louis at the moment. But Hiroshi will be the one actually securing that Gatot right now. But for the side of Evil Esports, they do have a chance to pick up the Gatot as well, the Hylos as well. Maybe the side of Tempros can be the one actually be banning it out.
Is really a flexible pick, but then mostly can be used as a tank. But then having that Louis on that opponent, so I guess Katot Kacha would be really needed to engage on those early fights. Happening in the game. So I feel At this point, they should also ban in that Hylos, but then they do ban in that Eve because real world manipulation is really annoying, and boxing in those team fights and would be a lot annoying too. That show you.
Absolutely right, because I feel like the banning the Khalid for Sada Stepbros might actually work in favor of evil esports possibly, but right now they do have a chance for going for the chip too. Because if they do what a micro factor that the Louis can provide, they can just sustain get one for themselves as well. But it's kind of a bit too risky to say. Well, there's a band that's going to be coming out for Evil East, maybe they could go for a tankier band here because they can go for the mates too. The Sicilian is still up for grabs,
The
so
falling
they might
stars
actually.
brought
Oh, the
us here
Nova is very,
again
very
this
pretty
morning.
amazing to say because I actually thought that Stebros might actually be the one capitalizing onto that and pick up the Novaria for themselves just because of the season. But Evil East are reading it out so well.
The pros do really play in with that step. I would say nowhere. Yeah, they do really are great in grooming in with her sniping skills. But then on their side, they do ban in that title on their side because you don't want to see those flicker implosion skills on to your
I am
teammates. That's really
vengeance
lethal, and pulling out with that sacred hammer towards the opponent.
At
That's
night
probably the
or
end game for any
everlasting.
team. But then here we could see Crisis switching in with that Moscow. I feel at this point, Moscow is really great because he can go anyways. I mean, he can go with that Trinity or that critic built on him. Um, I would say Step Bros are having a late spiker that's Sicilian. I mean, this guy, this I would say not a Batman, but then his bat impact do really hit up hard onto the mid to late phases of the game.
That's one thing they need to be doing right now. Maybe the
Love
Aurora.
is
Oh,
like blood.
wait,
Your
actually,
team
they
is
do need that
picking.
rumor, but they are actually gonna go for Herosian to that XP with that Gatot Kacha and picking out that Carmilla for themselves as a rumor. But like unlike most of the tanks and supports, the Carmilla is actually the one who needs to stay in the back, just try to make that place with the Charisma of Blood in order to be distracted. In order he needs someone to just distract the other team, the opponent, in order to land those better ultimates that he needs to land. And maybe it can be provided directly by the Gatot in when the team fights are happening. But onto the side of Evil Esports, they are going for that late game as well as that early game security because the early game might be into the hands of the Louis or maybe the CEO even and the Hilda is right there, and the late game might actually be for Crisis onto that Moscow. But looking at the side of Stepbros as well, they are the one having that combo with the Carmilla Cecilan as well. And the early game might be a little bit hard for them, but the joy is there, the grandeur is there, and into the later part of this game, the Sicilian is gonna be hurting a lot and might even outrange the Moscow. But there's no going back for that Joe hair right there.
But yeah, it's true. But the mostly part, as you said, that I would say CC or chain link combination coming in. That's from I would say Step Pros because and they also do have late game potential that Sicilian. So they don't have to worry much about that, and they also got in that Granger for themselves. So a lot of hope from Step Pros in this match because they're having a really good team
Welcome
CC
to
chained up
MOBA Legends.
combination. So yeah, let's see, and let's not underestimate. I would
5
say
seconds till the enemy
esports.
reaches the
And
battlefield.
ladies and
Smash
gentlemen,
them.
here we are in the Dawn of Dawn. Both the hypers
Ultimate
rotating,
deployed.
uh, you know, coming in for that user rotation from that E to goal side. As usual, Litho is spawning in the goal side.
Mhm. And the positions of the bottom teams right now, looking at the side of Eagle Esports, they are the one actually made for pickoffs because they have a bit of a lacking in CC, the crowd controls that's going to be provided by Ninjas onto the ability actually, but there's a lot of pick-off potential that's going to be coming out from them because there's a Joe Hat, there's a Hilda who's going to be always rotating, but looking at the position of the Hilda, oh, of the Louis and Venom right now. They are the one actually stealing that little bit of the bomb that they have put onto there's a small cap. They are gonna steal it again. I feel like this is a very, very great rotation. A deny for them, but onto the top side, a lot of damage onto Eli right there. Crisis just stepping onto him, but Eli will be taking very low. This is stun onto YDS as well, but Crisis will be a bit of a pickle here. Will be the one actually falling down into the hands of a hopeless retreat.
I mean, a very reckless move pulled out by Crisis because, I mean, he could have killed it, but, killing and sacrificing yourself at the same time, I would say it's a really great trade, I feel. And, for specifically for Crisis, if he continues to die in this early game, I feel Granger would be having an advantage because, late step by step, as on his passive, he would be dealing a lot of damage.
Mhm. He has to be a little bit careful, like you mentioned, because that's a boss stuff. That's a weak early game here, but onto the boss side, there's a lot of damage for both of the teams. For Heroes, taking very low, the realize like has been top as well, but there's a lot of reaction. And YGS will be the one securing that kill onto Hiroshi. That's first kill for the trio, and the turtle is up now. And Johan is just dishing out a lot of damage onto EU right there. But I feel like this is a free note for a free turtle for the side of Evil Esports at the moment, but Super Red just taking reason and they have to back away.
And I mean, securing the total, and then all you need to do is really back off because, staying up for in those front lanes would be costing you some of your kills to your opponent. But that Joe had did dive in with his ult, but then Granger with his second skill dodged it right away.
Oh. There's a diversion play onto the backside. Also, you're taking very low, but you will be falling into the hands of YZS again. There's a turtle block. Will be connecting onto the backside, and you will be into the back, and where two will have to dive away from that. This is SOD will be connecting, but will not be committed. But there's one small crit being secure for YZS right there. I think they are going to go for more. Eli having a little bit of a pickle right there. There's like Petrify being committed in order to save his member. EU will have to back away this one go playing for the side of Evil Esports, but there's more hopeless retreat just diving in with the electrifying things as well, taking down mages, but he will be eventually falling down to the hands of Super Red as well. Eli Hope taking down the hands, taking down Evenum into that. A lot of scams is happening, but one of the teams are tackling for it, and Crisis have to back away. He has a flicker, he is gonna be safe for now.
I mean, at this point, Bruce do need that Gacha on their side, initiating the team fights. That AOG would be really helpful onto those, front lanes.
There's a lot of damage onto Superman again. Will be falling down to the hands of Hiroshi, but there's a trick right there. Ninjas will be taking down Hiroshi into a little bit of scams is happening, but this already will be connected, but won't be committed. But Crisis, he does have the lead at this moment. Eli Hope does not have a chance to go against a Crisis at this time because he doesn't have the info of the other team members. He does have that stank. He has that Hunter strike right now. I feel like he's going for a little bit more of a damage, still not for the Sky Piercer, but the blue parts is looking like Sky Piercer right here. But, oh, there's an ejector coming onto the EU again. The linear reaction. A lot of damage in connecting onto Venom right there. There's a lot of there's a lot of ultimate and resources being gone for just a one kill, but they are not actually securing that kill as well.
Being true, and the turtle is up. I feel Ella is out of position right now, but then she would be able to survive. And that because that pops in securing. I mean, not securing, but then connecting one guy, and that Kavira does secures in that kill Jawhead.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of damage coming out for YZS right there onto Hiroshi, but this SLD will be connecting again. He have to flicker away in order to survive. The little bit of onslaught coming out from Crisis as well. Like I feel like this Crisis has, I mean, he's been teleporting so far right now. I mean, he have to pay the turtle for the price of the top tower right there for holding on to the hands of Eli Hope.
I mean, Crisis entry was really heroic, but then he has lost his turret. So I mean, not really.
Oh, that's a lot of damage onto Eli Hope. connector not be connecting, but Venom will be in a little bit of a pickle right there, but he'll spiritually will be the one securing that kill with the electrifying base being popped again. I mean, there's a lot of skirmishes happening with just a little bit of amount of time, but Eli Hill just survived with wonders with that kind of damage coming out for the side of Evil Esports, and you know he's gonna be safe for now because he's sitting on zero data right now.
At this point, Sicilian, with his clock destiny, is a bit tanky, and he should prioritize playing a bit in the front line, and that diversion play coming in from Flu, he would have been proven right. I mean, would have secured it from for that Joy, but then Joy with his more, I would say, dashes, escapes pretty easily.
That's a yin yang connection onto EU right there, taking him down very, very low. But he's not gonna be safe now. He needs to, have a bit of health on his side. But Hopeless Retreat will be popping that electrifying beats in order to survive. That also gets coming out from YZS right there. There's a stun onto YZS again. The Sanguine Cons will be connected and the SXR will be committed, but nothing out of the ordinary. But EU just kind of looking for more. There's a crossover ball connecting onto two members, and Heroes is just diving into the side of YZS again. There's Con coming in as well, but he's gonna be in trouble. The revitalizer has been popped again, and there's a chase going on for more. EU just diving in, just trying to go for more, but the side of Evil Esports know where to retreat, and they have to be safe for now.
And I mean, for now, as far as Sicilian, even if I would say Carmen do, tanks a lot of damage. I mean, Sicilian with their combined passive skill can begin that Carmela, save her from that dire situation. So, she would be having a lot of great time.
Lucifer went in trouble here. The revitalize will be popped again, but actually it was Hopeless Retreat taken down again. Ejector will be committed onto the Sicilian. The Sangate Close will not be connected, but there's a lot. That's Ejector being taken on the side of YZS again on. But in favor of that, there's a diversion being committed. Oh, that's YZS. Just diving in onto the Sicilian, taking him down again. EU in trouble will be taken down by Minzes, but onto the bot side. Oh, Crisis is a little bit of a pickle right here, but he's dealing a lot of damage, just having that mobility to farm up, but the mid lane turret will be in jeopardy.
Even at this point, I would say you can't leave Crisis alone because, as you can see, he's doing whatever he can. I mean, taking on those small jungle camps, either you say push in lanes or arriving at the team onto that point. So you need to really prioritize Crisis, killing Crisis.
They have to be focused onto that crisis by Inessa, but the blue buff will be secured by YBS right there. The dive doesn't play onto the backside. Oh, I was retreat in trouble here. There's a lot of damage gonna be onto him as well, but that's Eli who being the victim of that ejector will be falling down eventually, but Crisis is creating a lot of prowess for that skirmish that's happening from both this team because his team has been that distractor and he has been the split pusher.
I mean, his team is not just distracting, even secure kills for themselves. I mean, this is really great combination coming in from team Evil Esports, as they are doing all those things together at once, and specifically Crisis. His rotation, it's being the top notch right now. Even like previous match we saw, he was taking in with Ranger. He did a really great thing, and the diversion play would be coming in for that Joy. Joy is really low right now, but then getting finished like that. I would say Joy was really quick.
The cross block will be connecting onto two members. The ulti will be onto the backside, will not be connecting onto anyone, but Vintage will be the one securing that kill onto EU. And onto the backside, YZ is just diving in for that Sicilian. But he has to be safe for now. He does survive that particular play right there. But I would say there was a lot of damage coming up from the studio. He is a snowballing studio, I would say, but there's a lot of farm coming up from Crisis because he has 7k gold lead at the moment with the Warren Boots as well. And the lot will be up now. That's a 10-minute mark. This is the first low for this team, and will be very, very easily taken by the side of StepBros. I mean, Evil Esports.
I mean, Step Bros are looking in trouble again. The way Crisis is split pushing, or you could say, their mage, Evil's mage, is using the diversion for securing some, surprise skills for Step Bros. for now, it's the AG as well as the a curse of blood, holding them back in this match.
Oh, there's a lot of damage onto the backside, but the bad squeeze will be committed as well. The pleasure now, the members of Evil Esports, but there's a Yinga reaction onto EU will be taken very low, but EU doesn't have that damage. But second call connecting onto the two Senka members, I would say there's a lot of damage and it's not coming out from the Sicilian right there. They should be able to secure, I mean, defend this the mid lane tower, but looking at the side of Evil Esports, they are looking for, they do want to go for something right now. But they have to back away because they do not have everything that they needed.
I mean, good thing about Evil Esports, they're not even trying to forcefully end this match. They don't want to lose that gold advantage they are having right now. That's approximately 10,000 to be honest. So, very smart move by Team Evil Esports. And, most probably they would be circling for that Lord really.
Oh, EU support here will be falling down to hands of Mindy Thunder. The second boss will be connecting to Super Wet, but Super Wet is a hefty member with a lot of tankiness that we have, with a lot of gold. He's not going to be falling down dead easily, but there's one member that's potential, so they're falling down onto the side of StepBros Maaf now, and both of the teams are just looking for a little team fight right there, diving in for Super Wet right there. That's a revitalizing pop, but will not be enough to save him right there, but the ejector will be committed onto the Sicilian, will not be taken down, but Vayner will be falling down into the hands of that Sicilian right there. The electrifying base will be taking down Windis as well. He's going for more. YTS is trouble. He's just diving in back. There's a retribution committed as well. There's a lot of damage onto the Soul Sliver, but Crisis will be saved down. He's just recalling onto the backside. Ooh, he's gonna be looking for some counterplays. There's a mid lane in trouble right there, but there's just one minion, but Hopeless Pretty will be falling down to the hands of the Crisis just out of nowhere diving into that. Oh, that's less damage. They don't have the vision onto that Crisis, but yeah, he's gonna be safe for now, recalling onto that small burst out of the picture.
I mean, Cassius with his core laning abilities, he's really reaching havoc onto that. I mean, on those step bros right now. And those step bros should, really take a stand to step over their game. I mean, specifically looking out the crisis rotation, they should take an advantage because mostly they are playing on that, 5v4, so they should take some advantage, not having that marksman on their opponent's side.
Absolutely right. You just have to be careful. But why is he will be falling down to the hands of Eli Hope right there? But Lindsay will be taken down by Hopeless Rescue AOZ will not be connecting on to anyone. But there's a lot of damage for Eli Hope will be securing 3 kills. And Chrysos will be focusing onto the base. And that's a powder. That's a base build taking dealing a lot of damage. And Chrysos will be taking this game. This team that split was coming out for him was so unexpected, so surprising. So I would say Evil Esports they take this game deservingly so.
I mean, Crisis, I would like to say, the gold standard, I would say he is really a great goal laner. Previous match with the Granger and this match with his Moscow, really, doing as much as he can. And, the last push coming in from him, killing out that, I would say, Sicilian using that Inspire and then, locking into this base. That was really, genius for him, of him. And I would say Sicilian would had a better approach if he, went back and then used his bat feast. Then probably he would get some, coverage from his side. But then Moscow already builded in that malefic gun, so he also had that range in him. So it was a really great match between these two teams, and as a best of three uh, team. Evil Esports do proceed to those upcoming upper playoffs. And I guess with this, Debbie, do you want to sum up with saying anything?
There's I feel like the map awareness coming out for the lack of map awareness I was taking out for Step Bros was actually uncharacteristic of them because they does have the damage at that point. The Granger was getting a lot of damage right there, but they a little bit of a failed scams is happening and price is just going with the backdoor plays, and like you said, he is such deserving because the map potential, that the map control that this guy have, the map awareness that he has been so amazing, and eventually he's taking his team into this victory, and I would say they are deserving it, they're deserving of this uh victory as well, but they do have a uh game for more in order to go to that prize and the trophy that they're looking for. I hope they do have a very, very good synergy that they provide today. And I do want to see more from them too.
Yeah, and with this being said, guys, we would be back with our match number two, and this match, wishing luck to both of the teams. I mean, they have more upcoming events, but for now, Team Evil Esports do proceed to the next stage of our tournament of Crown Championship. So, guys, please stay tuned. We would be back soon with our match number two. And here we are, guys, to our playoffs of Crown Championship Season 1. And we are having Team Maaf and Team Move On uh, fighting against each other. And we have Maaf on the blue side and Move On the red. So with me, I'm the caster for today, Burger. And with me, I have none other than Yuna. So, Yuna, please do take away.
So, ladies and gentlemen, hello. I hope you all are doing well. And guys, we are on to the first phase of banning section. And we can see from the side of the team move on, they have decided to ban out Matilda. That was a really
Only
nice choice
love
because
and
Matilda is
knowledge
a really good
are
support. You know,
everlasting.
like she has that the guiding wind, which will really help you onto the team fights whenever you are low onto the HP and you are into the danger. She will be helping you out to come out from the hands of your enemy, and the circling eagle damage output, like and the magic damage she does, and also the healing she provides, and she's a really great support. So why not ban her out? And Burger, what do you think about the Sicilian ban?
I mean, Sicilian, as usual, this mage is really terrific onto that mid to late phase of the game. So, banning him out is a really wise choice coming in from team. Move on. So, yeah, along with that bad impact and his bad face, I would say, somehow, it helps him to sustain or regain much HP provided to sustain in those team fights. And I guess Team Maf do miss out a ban for themselves. So I guess that would be a really big disadvantage for them. But then another great hero coming in as a ban from Team Move On as Lucas, this hero I would say can deal a lot of damage in his wolf form, and even if he goes sustain, he can sustain a lot as well as deal some terrific damage to his opponents.
It's true indeed. He is a really great hero, and he is a new hero into the season as well. And he has a lot of sustain, and he will be a great jungler as well. The EXP laner and the damage he provides, and he is indeed a beast. So why not ban him out? And looking on from the side of the team, move on. They are thinking right now which hero to ban, but okay. They are going with the Fanny ban. That was a nice choice because Fanny has a lot of flexibility and those cables, like if she got like the early farm, she will be dealing a lot of damage, the cut throat and the damage coming from her, and she will be taking out the squishy backliners, and she will be, like providing a lot to her
Experience
team.
the euphony of suffering.
Yeah, true indeed. And planning out the decision also the white size because she doesn't gives the space required for those non I would say non-agile frontliners or EXP laners. That's really annoying for them, especially Yushin, you know. So, with this, we are heading towards the drafting phase, and Harit has been picked from Team Muff. I would say really good choice because this, I would say, with his Zaman Force and those unlimited chrono dashes with that Force, it's a really hectic damage coming in from Harit, and I would say Ranger, really great choice
Without
up to
all
the
the
meta,
justice in the
up to the
world,
mark. This hero up with the Sky Piercer can do more than expected and deal some nasty damage. And as well as paired up, I would say Granger.
Fight! Fight for the ultimate answer. Is picking.
I think Burger is having a little bit of network issues, so I will be continuing on to this big phase. And looking on to the side of the team Ma, they have picked out the Badang onto the EXP lane, and he can also play it, like onto the roam also. When where they have seen that damage, the critical damage he brings out, and he will be targeting all the backliners using that face crack, face break, the face in hand. You will be getting into the hands of him, and the backliners they have to be like very careful, like when he is present out there. And looking onto the side of the team move on, they have Matilda as their roam, like she is a really great support, is a really great roamer. She has a lot of sustain, and there's like she has the early game damage as well. She will be providing a lot to their team, and they have picked out the Cho. Oh my god! Like I think he will be going on to the EXP lane against the Dang. Like
Yeah.
both of them are really great EXP lanes. Okay, Burger, you're back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wasn't having any connectivity issue. It was just that
Your
problem
team
with
is
my
dead.
earpods, but then we could see, Eve getting banned out. I mean, this mage is really being great turnover for most of the matches in this meta, because her keyword interpretation does provide a really wide range damage, I would say damage output, and as well as that Hayabusa, I would say, Shadow Kill, uh, you know, with
Time to
those
drop
Phantom
the beat
Shuriken
of your
stacks.
team is
I feel,
dead.
it's best for those solo 1v1 kills. And I feel we have to wait and see for, what could be the last possible ban coming in from the Maf. And like move on, do also have abandoned the joy on my side. I feel this is a really good ban because having a damage zero take ranger, so joy can be a direct counter for him. So then banning joy out is a really great choice for team move on.
Sand rises when I give the
Your
word.
team is picking.
And we can see from the side of the team move on, they
Maf.
have banned out Khalid
The
as
Immortal
their
one
last
chose
ban,
me to
and
fight
he's
with
a
the
really great
shadows
EXP
that
lane as well.
plague
The
this
roamer,
world.
the Rising Sandstorm, he provide one ultimate and the regain he gets, and he will be like targeting those liners on the team fights.
Yeah, true. And I mean, the move on to pick on with that show you. I mean, in the previous match between Evil Esports and StepBros, we saw. I mean, Shoyu was a really deciding factor for the victory. The team having that Shoyu on this side was really
The
winning
choice
out
is
those matches.
mine.
And I feel Shoyu with his early game, not just early game. I mean, early to late game potential. He is a really great jungler. And I mean, his dashes, he has a lot of
Not
edging skills,
every day you
so
see
he's a really
someone
Your
good
handsome
team
choice
is
dragon
as a
picking.
tamer
jungler.
like me.
And counter him, team off. Do pick in that Xavier on the team. I mean, this is really really good late game potential. I mean, the cut control he
Who said
provides
there are no
in,
shortcuts in
and
life?
I mean
I
the
literally
Blade of
invented
Destruction.
one.
I mean, his ultimate does provides a lot of damage into that late phases, along with that lane. What to say about this hero? I mean, literally a Spider-Man climbs up the wall. Have a lot of agility in this map, and his critic stats are really good.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And we can see also the team of having that sheep onto their team. They have that control advantage. He will be, like teleporting, and from goal lane to the top lane, he will be providing a lot of team fight advantage for the side of the team of.
Yeah,
And
I
guys,
mean,
we are done with our drafting phase, and like both of the teams are looking so strong right now. Like the side of the team having the Aurora, Suyo, and the Cheap, like they are looking strong. And onto the team move on, like the Harriet is there, also the the Chow is there, and also the Ling. So like we will be seeing a
Welcome
like a
to
very
MOBA
interesting
Legends.
match.
and ladies and
5
gentlemen, here
seconds
we
till the
are
enemy
arrived at the
reaches
land
the
of dawn,
battlefield.
and
Smash them.
both teams would be going in for their simple early game laning and farming phases. And as usual, both the hype is starting in on the EXP side of I mean, you know, why not to lead with the goal in where you do have a lot of kill potential in right from the early stages, and the Lito also does spawns in on the goal side.
Yes, and we can see onto the riverside the child going onto the Aurora, but the Aurora still have her passive, and she is right now, fighting for her life, and she has used that flicker, and she has, like escaped from the hands of the child. And also we can see that the chief was into the trouble, but he was able to fall back using his flicker.
At this point, a lot of it was a really great showdown, I
Burger,
have to
you are
say.
having a little bit of network issue. And we can see onto the top lane, the Suyo is already there, and also the Ling is farming up now. Finally, he have also reached the level 4, and guys, the first turtle will be also arriving soon. And nothing much have happened till right now because it's the early phase of the game, and we will be seeing a team fight onto the river side because the first turtle is spawning soon. And guys, we can see onto the goal lane the Granger and the Harriet farming up and getting those goals. We can see some clashes happening onto that, and the Chow is a little bit into problem, but he is able to fall back, and the Hilda has arrived at the right time to support her teammates, and the Dawn Light coming from the Xavier, the Way of the Dragon has been activated, and we can see the chip has been taken down, the first blood coming from the Link, and the Tempest of Blood has been activated, and we can see the Frigid Glacier coming, and Hilda has been shut down by the Granger, and the Granger securing that double kill onto that Xavier. We can see from the side of the team up, they are onto the first turtle, and Suya will be securing this turtle, and the chip is there onto the blue buff of the Ling, and we can see the Ling is onto the low HP, and the Chow coming from the support, and the Granger they're using that City, and the Granger is onto the problem, and the Hilda securing kill onto that Granger, but then using that fist break, and we can see the Way of the Dragon activated by Cho, and the Aurora securing the kill, and also the Suyo getting that kill onto that Cho. Oh my god, the great fire coming to the side of the team. Maaf. The Frigid Glacier has been activated, but the Aurora, like, oh my god, she is into the problem, and the Harriet securing that kill onto that Aurora, but the Harriet also has been shut down. The revenge has been taken by the Suyo. Burger, are you there?
I mean, yeah, I'm switching in. Thank you for taking my space. Thank you specifically. I would say thank you for being my Matilda, saving me up. So I guess we are back, and for now my game is loading in. So can you please take up the link?
Okay, sure, why not? It's okay, you can take your time. And we can see onto the riverside the cheat providing that vision to his teammates, and the Sue is onto the Link, but the Link has fallbacks safely, and the dawning light coming from the Xavier to give that vision for his teammates. And onto the goal lane, nothing much is happening. The both of the goal laners are farming and getting those goals.
Yeah, I'm back. Thank
Nice.
you for.
Do you mind having some? Okay, welcome back, Burger.
Thank you so much. And as far as we can see, Team Maaf are having some advantage coming in, and the chip does pops in. His skills with that ulti coming in from that Ling, but Ling looks in a dire situation, but secures the kill for the Granger as well as he dies away with that Soyu.
Yes, true indeed. The one-for-one trade coming from the both of the sides, and also the second turtle has respawned, and the side of the team up they are on to the second turtle as well. And the Link has been shut down, but still he has respawned. So we will be having a fight onto the river side, and we can see the chip is onto the problem, and the chip has been shut down by the Chow, and the Suyo is still there. The Chow is really low onto this HP, and the Chow has been taken down by the Granger.
I mean, as well as Harith was taken down. Harith, I mean, he has a lot of dashes, but then he's also really fragile hero at this point. And Granger trying to zone out that Hilla from the range, and a secured Soyu. I mean, a turtle for Soyu. And I mean, a really great try by that Aurora, but then that dawning light would finish her off. I mean, she flicker ulted really well.
Yes, and we can see that the Suyu has been shut down by the Ling. And the chip is present out there, and also the Hilda is there. And we can see the Chow and the Badang onto the mid lane, leaving their EXP lane right now.
I mean, yeah, and I would say Jowum is also really rotating really well at this point, locking in to that
And we
Harith
can see
and
the used by the chip, and we can see the Harith has been shut down by the Badang and the Dawning like from that Xavier, and we can see the way the Dragon has been given by the and so has also flickered onto the Granger, and that's a double kill from the Link on Aurora. No, the chip was getting shut down, and that's the kill secured by the Xavier.
I mean, at this point, Ling is having a really fun time, rotating and having, gathering up some kills for his teammate, and as well as he does also pushes the top lane turret. I mean, Ling is having a really great time, and he also has completed his, I would say, hands clause. So he doesn't has to recall to the base if on the dire, or I would say dire HP bar. And for the mid, I see some tension building up with those two teams, and that see the damage coming in from that Ling. I mean, that Berserker Fury is dealing so much damage to that uh, Granger.
Yes, and we can see the Chow using the way of the dragon so beautifully, and the Hilda securing kill onto the Badang. The physic glacier has been activated, but still the Chow is really onto the problem, but he has fall back safely, and the Ling again securing the kill onto the Suyu, and the Xavier also securing the kill onto that Cheap. And that's the double kill for the Xavier.
I mean, at this point, team, I would say, Maaf are having a fun time. Covering those. I mean, not Maaf, but then team move on having some really great time with their Hilda. I mean, that power of wilderness is dealing some somewhat of damage to those opponents, and team Maaf 2 really needs to catch up.
It's true indeed. The side of the team mob, they were really doing great onto the early phase, but right now the team move on. They are having a great time, and they are giving a good rotations and a team fight. And we can see also the chip has been shut down again by that Xavier.
Shutdown coming in from the Granger, doing so much damage that absolutely, as well as that I would say yeah, the death Sonata, but then unfortunate death for that Padang, killed out by our small boy Harith, and a double a kill for our Shoyu, double kill coming in from his side. That I would say evil killer is doing so much damage. I feel at this point, if he builds in a Sky Piercer, it would be more helpful, cause in the mid lane scenario there were so many heroes he did damage to, but then they were all in low HP. So in these kind of situations, Sky Piercer do helps a lot, and he does have a stack of 20 on his Sky Piercer. I mean, stack by stack, he would be dealing so much damage. So guys, let's wait and watch what Team Mark has now held back before they come back in this match.
Yes, and also we can see that the first lot will be arriving soon, and onto the top lane we can see some conflicts happening between the two of the team, but the Chow has decided to fall back at this very moment.
Having shown without the same team is a really great advantage, because both of the teams. I mean, Joe is really good at picking. Not sorry, Joe is really good at picking out those opponents, and Badang, I would say, is a really good hero with his. I would say Iron Fist. So he does. They both of the teams do need to look out for each other, and look at the damage coming in from the Granger. I mean, he's really far away with it. That's not doing some really nasty damage.
And yes, we can see onto the riverside. It seems like happening out there, the hills. Like she is a really great frontliner. She was onto like in between of the three like players, but still she was able to fall back without losing her health. And we can see the Lord is already there, and both of the team will be contesting for this Lord.
Yeah, because
And also the way
why
of the
not?
dragon has to exit onto the cheap, and the cheap is really low onto that HP, but he will be falling back. And guys, like we can see that the Hilda is onto that. Suyu, and we can see the Suyu securing the kill onto that Hilda. The Granger is really low onto the HP. The damage output coming from that Dawning Light. And we can see that the ultimate has been used by the Batang really beautifully, but the Ling using the Tempest, the Blade, and securing the kill onto that Sheep, and also the Physic Glacier has been activated, and to this the Ling has been shut down by the Aurora.
Kind of a weird extension behind the team now. Then like just
Monster
securing the
kill.
space and then start down like one to that uh, danger and create the Aurora
Mega
uh,
kill.
Adam in the page. This is a
Burger,
good.
your voice is not audible.
Uh, is it now?
Yes, it is audible right now.
Okay. So so he's trying to take in the turtle for his team, and successful turtle. I feel there's no
Yes,
retributions
it was
around him.
successful. And we can see that the Templar's blade has been activated by the lane to fall back. Though the Xavier, used that dawning light to give out the vision, but the Lord was already into the hands of the side team up, and that's the unstoppable coming from the Suyo. Oh my god, and the Chow will be falling back, and the Lord also, like marching from the top lane.
Maaf is really dominating with that Soyu on the side. So, at this point, Ling being sneaky, he's probably trying to push in the top. But then, as the Lord is marching in on the top lane, he also do needs to look out. As is a luminous Lord, it would mark him to the turret.
Yes, and we can see the inhibited turret has been, taken by that side of the team mob, the two of the inhibited turrets, and the Lord is there, and we can seeing the tension building up on the team move on, and the Chow has been taken down by the Granger, the Physic Glacier activating the Granger, securing the double kill onto that Xavier. Oh my god! And we can see the Harriet also has been shut down, and with this, the match ends here, and the side of the team mob has won this first match.
Victory.
I mean, I would say team move on. Their Ling did a really, I would say, probably that was a 50-50 for them as they had their Harit. So I guess he was a bit confident, about defending the Lord as well as that, they had their Xavier on their side. So, you do have a lot of confidence, while defending as it's just the ultimate Lord. But then you should not even underestimate your teammates as they are having one of those, heavy damage dealers like Soyu or you say Granger. So I would say Link should have stayed in the base. So, they could have, I guess, defended it very easily without even having a single casualty. But then, you learn from your mistakes. So, with this, our first match between, I mean, the first round does ends between these two teams. So we would be having another round as it's a best of three. So, team move on do have another chance to prove themselves, or Maf are gonna take away and move forward in this tournament. So with this, we would like to take a short break. I mean, not a break, but then we would be back in a while. So guys, just stay tuned. Welcome back, stream, and here we are to second match between these two wonderful teams, which is Muff and Team Move On. And as in the previous match, we saw, Team Move On just completely got tricked away with the use of that shoyu from the Team Muff. And this time, the Team Muff are prioritizing the ban on that Sicilian. This late game mage is really dangerous. And on the stream is that we do have, my ally, I would say, with I would say, comfort partner. That's Yuna, and I'm your custom burger. So Yuna, do take away.
So, guys, we are on to the first phase of banning section, and we can see that the Sicilian has already been banned out because he is a really great millionaire, providing that bad phase damage onto the late game, the Sanjin Cross damage he provides, and he's a really great mage, like from the backline, he will be, you know, giving out that much amount of damage from the bad phase and taking you down, and it's really hard to catch him as well, like if you got the great frontliner for him. And also looking on the side of the team move on, they have banned out the Jushin. Like, why not? Because she is really on to this banning section right now. She has make a home for her because she is a very great mage at this very moment, like providing that lantern of flare, picking you up from one side and throwing you into the hands of the enemies, and you will be getting down at the very moment. And the crimson bacon, the ultimate, like she has that shield, and she will be very annoying for those tanky frontliners.
Yes, true. You know, Zushin, and priorly, like this Starlight, since her Starlight has been released, she has been used more than like any day. I would say any day since the her Starlight has dropped. But anyways, Team Maf do also ban an amazing hero. That's Lucas. Dealing damage, sustaining damage. Anything you say, this hero is all in one. Full packed and diving in or defending. He's really great. As well as that Badang. Previous game, Team Move On were having a really hard time because Badang with his Iron Fist was doing so much damage, dealing so much. I would say crowd control to those heroes. So banning him is a really pride choice for Team Move On. Let's see what are the last two bans from the first banning phase. Yeah.
And we can see from the side of the team map, they have banned out the joy. Like, why? Like, of course, we will be like, like they will be banning out because it's really great, like jungler. She will be providing a lot of damage from, from early to the late phase. And like, if she is farm a well from the early game, she will be dealing a lot of damage. The electrifying bits coming from her, like she will be dancing onto her beats and, like getting onto those team fights, taking you down and, like just going away. And the backliners, they will be having a problem dealing with her because she has a lot of mobility and the dashes she provides, and she will become the dancing monster for them. And she is like very great against the those tanky frontliners and those sturdy tanks.
Yeah, she can really dive into those backlines, but then again we can see Team Move On banning in that Matilda as why not? And again, a great support. Previous match too, she was banning, so why not also ban in? But they do forget to ban in that Fanny, and our angel, Buff's angel do lock in with that Fanny Grange and Katutkacha. I feel this is a really great dive in potential, specifically saying Fanny has that late early to mid game. Then you have the Granger stacking up on his skills and smashing hard to the mid to late phases, as well as that tanky Gatotkacha on their side. I feel Marv has a really great dive in composition right now. But then team move on also has that Harith on their team. So infinite chrono dashes with the Zaman foes on their side, and show as usual great at picking up with the way of the dragon with putting on the right place, picking up those opponents. And the
Yes, true
last
indeed. And he will be targeting onto that, backliner, the marksman Granger, and also onto the mid laner, like from the side of the team Mav, which they will pick up, and also onto the Fanny, like Chow can be a really good counter for her.
True, and I mean, we have the dragon is counter for that's Fanny, but then he needs to be precise which way he's giving or he would be ending up helping her. I would say, or wasting his ult. But then Alpha coming in with as a hyper. What he a great, I would say, potential hyper because his damage is great right from the early game. Unlike Fanny, and his I would say regen, I would spell vamp stats are really great.
A
But
moment
then
of
he is
planes
kind of
resetting
vulnerable
equilibrium.
because once his ulti has been used, it's like one way ticket. Because once he uses his spear of alpha, there is very little chance to for him to back off unless and until he is dominating. So let's see. But into the second banning phase, Aurora has been banned from team move on, and Maaf has banned I mean Eve. So both the teams are focusing on banning out those good, I would say, good and economic mages.
Yes, true indeed. When like onto the previous match, the Aurora, her frigid glacier, the timing of her, ultimate, it was so nice, and the damage she was giving out, and she was really great onto her positioning, and she was dealing a lot for her team, and also the Eve, like having the real world manipulation, she will be slowing you down onto those team fights, and the Gatakaja is present out there, using that AOG, and also like when the AOG is activated, like Eve can unleash, the real world manipulation, and she will be slowing you down. So instead of giving
Fight
into
for
the
the
hands of the
ultimate
enemies,
answer is
like they
taken.
thought to ban out her.
I mean, yeah, and Hylos as well. This is a really great frontliner. But this glorious path is a great fight initiator as well. And I mean that banning in that Hilda is a really smart choice because she's really good with those early invades. So she would be a lot annoying to that Fanny because Hilda being Hilda would be trying to steal buff or early game dive in or I would say invade to those Fanny. So a really wise choice coming in from Team Muff. But then Team Move On can also go in with that Jawhead. I mean, if Joe goes in Rome, but they do pick up that artillery on their team. I mean, that Farsa. So I'd say a lot of damage would be coming in with that feathered airstrike and that scare. I would say cursed crow.
It's true indeed, true indeed. The feather strike will be providing a lot of damage from the back side, and they are, like going with that Ben pick. Like, are they gonna pick him or not? Like, what do you think, Burger?
I mean, this match being can be proven as it effective because you have to have the Joe and Alpha, but then having that Harit on the opponent would be a lot annoying because dashing away and putting some damage would be really annoying. But then they go with the combination as a mage Novaria and Phobius being an EXP laner. I guess Phobius would be having a fun time because Harit dashing away, increasing his, I mean, unlocking his ultimate, as it would be triggering the passive of that Phobius. So Phobius would be having a fun time jumping upon that little boy Harit. But then uh, you know team move on do also lock in with a really good, I would say, tank that's glue. I mean, this hero can sustain a lot, and with his ult, going with that hybrid build can deal a lot of damage. And looking both of the teams draft, you know both looks really intimidating. But then having a Fanny and a Granger on the same side is really kind of scary. So what do you think, Yuna?
It's like both of the teams are really looking strong, but still the Fanny will be having that, map advantage because she has got
Welcome
those
to
keyboards and
MOBA
she will be
Legends!
flying, very smoothly onto the map.
5
And we can
seconds
also
till the
see that the
enemy reaches
Granger's
the
damage will be
battlefield.
coming really
Smash
great because
them!
of the Another and the Rhapsody from the long range. Also, the mid laner Novaria is present there, and also the Ghetto Gacha using his AOG. But we can't underestimate the team move on. Like also have a great pick, having that glue, using those slams, and annoying those heroes. And if the one and all is, activated onto those heroes, then he won't be leaving them unless they are, like dead at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, and with the hypers are rotating as usual, coming in from the top to the bottom lane. I mean, to the gold lane from the EXP. And I guess we have been called for a pause. So I guess we should be wait until any further instructions come up from our referee.
Yes, in the meanwhile, like we can see the standard rotations coming from both of the side, and already the Harriet and the Granger are onto their lane, farming for their goals. And also we can see like the team, they have again picked out that, Chow and the Harriet. And like, do you think they have some strategies onto them?
I mean, so one of the previous matches I saw, that's what was going on. Harit versus Granger. At before level 4, I mean, Harit was having a fun time, doing some damage to that Granger. But then, as soon as Granger turned in to his level 4, he had a really good backup from his team too. So, he got some kills onto the early phases, and he utilized that little goal advantage to to the notch, and he just created the goal difference furthermore, stepped it away furthermore. So Granger has a lot of potential, and in this recent patch he is really being a menace. So somebody, and not somebody, I mean Moondon, please nerf him. And as well as this, I would say uh Zushin, because Zushin players are really annoyed right now because she's not been able to use, because usually you see her getting banned onto those mythic I would say rank lobbies, because you know having a 10 heroes ban, you are about to see a Jushin ban coming in, because no one does wants her to be getting played in a match.
Yes, that's
And
true. And guys, we are back again into the match, and we can see that the Phobias and the Glue having a great time onto the EXP lane, like annoying each other.
yeah, Fanny coming in with those strong cables coming, putting up really low onto that alpha. But then Cho trying to end that Fanny, tried
Yes,
really
but the
close.
show has been shut down, and that's the first blood for the Fanny.
I mean, Fanny, I guess that revitalized was a savior from the gacha. So really hats off to his tank, saving. And usually you don't see support. I mean, I don't see this kind of support while I'm playing. So really emotional moment for me. But
That's so
then
sad for you, but I think you will also have the support onto your team.
let's hope. But then
Yes, and we can already see the first turtle will be respawning soon, and both of the team, will be contesting for that turtle. And also, we can see that the Fanny, the cables he is using right now, and that's so beautiful. But the Chow has interrupted her in the middle of that.
I mean, yeah, Cho, as we discussed, Cho is a really great counter for Fanny, as his skills do annoy her a lot, and that Jeet Kondu with that, I would say, Wave Dragon does annoy her a lot. And Cho trying to take the buff from Fanny,
And
but that Fanny with that cutthroat does secures the kill for the Cho.
yes, the Chow was there. Oh, and we can see that whether his track has been activated by the Farsa. Oh no, but the Farsa has been shut down by the Novaria. Oh my god, the Uno reverse coming from the side of the Team Muff. And we can see the Fanny connecting those cables and taking down that alpha and also securing the turtle as well, like hitting that double kill onto the glue. Oh my god, she is really playing so well. The beautiful cables coming from her. And also the Chow is there. The way of the dragon has been activated onto the Fanny, but the Chow has been shut down. Oh my god. And the Feather Strike has been activated by the Farsa, but she wasn't interrupted by that Phobius.
I mean, Noveria is also sniping really good, and a forced retribution coming in. But that I would say an overextension from Joe Boom because he just underestimated the damage from Alpha as well as Farsa. So, a really bad
And
thing
we
done by
can
him.
see that the angel going out there, connecting those cables, and you're taking down that Farsa, and now he will be falling back. The Chow really, like interrupting the angel, but still, angel is getting those kills and like getting the damage, and like falling back very safely.
Yeah, I mean, at this moment, probably they're regretting, not banning in that Fanny on their side. I mean, because the way she's snowballing right away, that's really crazy.
Yes, and also we can see onto the top lane, the glue has been shut down by the angel. That was,
I
like
mean,
the overextension coming from the side of the glue. And the Spear of Alpha hasn't activated onto the Phobias, but the Fanny has secured the kill onto the Farsa. Oh my god.
Fanny is really reaching some havoc onto those opponents' squishy. Not the squishy, to say she's also doing much damage to those roamers.
Yes, true indeed. And also onto the bottom lane, the tree gang coming, like the tree gang onto that Harriet, and the Harriet also has been shut down. And we can see onto the river side, the second turtle has respawned already, but the Fanny, securing that turtle, the great retribution coming from her, and Feather Strike has been activated. The glue is onto that and we can see the Novaria, securing that kill. Oh my god.
This Fanny is playing really up to the potential, up to the mark she's playing, and that Gatut Kacha secures the kill, and but gets sacrificed by that Farsa, but the Grange is securing some kill with that Rhapsody on him.
Yes, and we can see the angel connecting those cables so beautifully, and again securing kill onto that glue, and that's the double kill for the angel. Oh my god, the damage she is giving out right now, and the way she is connecting those beautiful cables, and we can see that the Fanny, securing that kill again onto the alpha.
Fanny is having a really great time, 11:02. That's a really great KD, considering it's just 6 minutes. So I guess they also do need to push
Yes,
turrets,
that's true. And we can see the way of the dragon was activated by the Cho, but the Granger securing kill onto that Cho, and the EOG has been connected by the Gacha Gacha, and that's the double kill for the Granger onto the Harriet.
at this at this point, most of this things looks over for the move on. But then let's not lose hope as they do have Farsa on their side. So that Harith would be also dealing a lot of damage. But then I guess Maaf wouldn't let them take it to the late game.
Yes, and we can see the Feather Airstrike has been activated by the Farsa, and the Angel use this connect like cable so beautifully and getting that kill, but the Angel also has been shut down. The Nova getting kill onto that Harriet.
This 1-for-3 trade won't give much of a advantage to them because it's already, I believe, to 8k goal lead for Team Maaf. So it's like an item per hero. So it's a really great lead for Team Maaf, and the last turtle does spawns in.
Yes, that's true, that's true. But the team map, they are literally dominating right now. They have the full map control, and the rotations they are giving out is so very amazing. And the Fanny, like the angel, dealing a lot of damage right now. Also the Granger having that amount of damage onto his Rhapsody, and you know It's Sonata and Fanny connecting those cables so beautifully and taking those members of the team move on so nicely, and she is really doing a great for her team.
I mean, she was trying to hit the turtle, probably not letting the turtle turn into a lord, because they are really scared that this would be a really end game for them. But then
Yes,
that Granger
and
securing.
for the Granger, oh my god, the feather airstrike was activated by the Farsa, but still the Granger was able to secure the kill, and also the Lot has spawned onto the river side. The Fanny and the Phobos is already onto the Lot, and also the Granger coming, like supporting his teammates to get that Lot, and the Fanny securing the first Lot, oh my god, and we can see the team move on. They are, like defending right now.
Team 1 is really in a dire situation. They need to step up the game style right now, because or else they would be losing the match straight away. The way Team Maaf are diving in, putting some putting the damage output. That's really nasty.
It's true indeed, and we can see that the Lord is marching from the middle lane and onto the bottom lane. The Fanny and the Alpha having the 1v fight, and the Angel securing kill onto that Alpha, and the hyper of the team. The jungler has been taken down by the Fanny, and there are only 4 players present at the very moment. And the EOG connecting by that Gato Gacha. Oh my, the slam is been used by the glue, and like he is trying to be annoying, and the feather airstrike has been activated, and we can see a lot going on to the crystal side, and the Fanny securing the kill onto the Harry. The wave of the dragon has been activated, and the Gato Gacha has been taken down. Oh my god, and that's the double kill for the Angel, but the Angel has been shut down by the... And we can see the Granger securing kill onto that Alpha, but the Forest has been shut down. Oh my god, that's really great coming from the side of the team move on. They are trying to, defend at this very moment. And
Granger
also the Parser has been shut down.
I mean, Granger is doing a lot of damage to his opponents. They are not able to bear that damage. I mean, that pain coming in from the Granger, but then they also do get the 2 inhibitors and almost does some damage to that enemy's base. So they are really confident right now, and I guess with the second Lord, they would be able to end this match.
Yes, that's true. But let's see the side of the team move on will be able to defend or not. And that's the kill securing by the Granger onto the Alpha. The AOG has been connected, and that's a double kill for the Granger. Oh my god, the damage coming from the Granger is really insane right now. And the 2 players all has been shut down, and also like the Harriet is really low onto the HP, and that's the legendary coming from the Granger onto the Harriet, and that's a double kill for the Granger onto the Chow. Oh my god, and the Forest has been executed, and that's a triple kill for the Granger onto the Farsa, and that's a complete wiped out coming from the side of the team Maaf. Oh my god, and they are locking onto the Crystal, and we can see that's the legendary onto the Alpha again by that Granger, and the glue is on they present at the very moment, and the glue is really onto the trouble, and the base is like really low, like crystal is really low, and with this the legendary was onto the glue by the Granger, and the match ends here.
I mean, what a match shown by Team of that Fanny, pulling on to that early game, and after a while, after the turrets were being pushed, Granger took the instinctive advantage of his, I would say, skills and mobility, and did a lot of damage to those uh, back as well as those front laners. I mean, with his sky bases stacked up so high, he had a really easy time killing onto those opponents. So I would say congratulations to Team Maf, and team move on. You did a really great job, but then lacked somewhere in communication. I would say in team engagement and fight. So yeah, do you want to add up something?
I just want to say, the both of the teams really played well. From the side of the team Mob, they were, like they had a really great coordination, and the positions, like when they are onto the team fights, also the team move on, they give a really great competition to the team Mob, but they really need to work onto their coordinations and the positions while they are onto the team fight. So that's all from my side.
Yeah, and this with this Maf do secure another match for them, so automatically they move on to the next round. And team move on does gets eliminated from the Crown Championship. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of the second match, and we would be back with our third match after a while. So, guys, please stay tuned.
Told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.